Hey guys, DLC 1 for Borderlands 3 was just revealed today. It's called MOXXI's Heist of the Handsome Jackpot. Today they released the trailer, and they also showed some gameplay footage on the Borderlands show where they interviewed Randy Pitchford, CEO of Gearbox. The live stream was a little over an hour, so I'm just gonna go over the highlights and talk about some of the really interesting stuff that Randy said. I'll also show you guys some of the legendary gear that they previewed during this live stream, along with some gameplay, and then talk about some awesome updates that are gonna be coming tomorrow with the MALIWAN takedown event. So for this DLC, we're going to be helping MOXXI to go in and infiltrate this casino that's owned by Jack. Randy mentioned in the live stream that Handsome Jack and MOXXI were married at one point, and during that marriage, she had talked about opening a casino. Well, apparently after they split, he took that idea and opened up the casino by himself. MOXXI's really pissed that he stole her ideas, and in this casino, he even has a bar called Foxy's, so she's definitely not happy about that. In this DLC, we're going to be seeing some of the Hyperion tech security returning, like the loader bots. They're going to be bringing back some of the originals, like the exploder loaders and the gun loaders, but we're also going to see some new versions this time. So we're going to have to fight our way through those Hyperion security forces to hopefully reach a safe that's loaded with Iridium cash and all new legendary loot. In the interview, Randy had mentioned that it took 7 hours to complete this DLC, so I'm not sure how accurate that is. It definitely depends on your playstyle. They did preview 3 legendary guns. One of them was this rocket launcher here called the Expansive Scathing Ion Cannon. This version here does 2 times 13,913 damage. It's a fire elemental with 9,496 damage per second with a 26% chance. It's a Vladoff rocket launcher, and the red text reads, "Fun detected, obliterate." It does plus 395% weapon damage, plus 15% weapon fire rate, plus 337 splash damage, and it does consume 2 ammo per shot. The next one they showed is a Torgue pistol called the Oozing Gratifying Craps. This one does 1,337 damage and also 1,333 damage per second and a 25% chance for corrosive. This red text reads, "Roll the dice." It's got plus 46% weapon damage and plus 122 splash damage radius. Then you've got the stuck gyro jets that will increase damage by 7% each. The last one that they showed is a doll SMG called the Adopting Trained Boomer. This one does 2 times 272 damage. It's got a pretty good fire rate. The fire elemental does 343 damage per second with an 8% chance. The red text reads, "Some like it hot," and then down at the bottom it says that bullets are laced with hot sauce. In addition to the legendary weapons, they also showed some of the new skins for this DLC. All the characters have a type of crown, and then they've got dollar bills on their jackets and vests. Randy was asked, in addition to what we see here, are we going to be seeing other types of legendary gear? And he said, yeah, the studio went absolutely nuts, and they have added in new legendary items for grenades and shields and artifacts and all of that. He was also asked about returning characters for this DLC, and he said, yeah, we're going to see a character from Borderlands the pre-sequel called Timothy. Timothy Lawrence is a lookalike body double of Handsome Jack, representing the doppelganger class. Jack is the 5th playable character in Borderlands the pre-sequel. Another question Randy was asked is a question that I think a lot of us were wondering, and if you've been a long-time Borderlands fan, then yeah, you were wondering, where's Dr. Zed? He's always been an iconic character throughout the series, helping with those vending machines, and we usually see him and interact with him and do missions in some way, but we're not seeing him so far in Borderlands 3. Randy said that they did offer him a returning role to voice Zed, but he had to turn it down because he's got some personal health issues going on that were prohibiting him from being able to do it. The last update that Randy got about his health is that he is doing a lot better, and there might be a chance that we will see him in Borderlands 3 in the future. Another interesting thing that Randy was saying, and he kept mentioning throughout the interview, is a future Borderlands. He didn't say anything about what it would be called, but like, say, a Borderlands 4. He was saying that they poured their hearts and soul into Borderlands 3, so if they're gonna do another one, they have got to dig really deep to make it good. But if they're so lucky to be able to do it, yeah, they will. Another question he was asked, and I know a lot of us were wondering, is there going to be new playable characters in the future? He said no, they're not going to, and I found the reason why very interesting. He said that based on their statistics, 70% of the players just choose one character, they stick with that character through the entire game, and typically don't try out the other characters. And since they want to put their their resources towards what's going to benefit the player the most. They just want to focus on the 4 main characters that we have now and expand them, make them bigger and better, give us more options for builds. One of the last questions he was asked that I know everybody wants to know, what's going on with that raid boss on Ascension Bluff? Those Iridian doors that nobody can get open, but they have previewed a Varkid boss behind those doors in that arena. And he said, quote unquote, "For now, don't worry about those doors, you'll learn about it soon enough." Another thing they talked about is the big update that's coming. They're going to allow us to store more items in our bank vault, and we're going to go from 50 to now 300, so it's going to be 6 times the size. Another change they're making is that all vault hunters will start with 20 slots instead of 10, and to increase the bank size, you will have to go to Marcus and purchase the SDUs. They didn't talk about price or how many slots you'll be able to purchase at one time, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Also, Mayhem Mode 4 is coming. That's very exciting. They are going to be making some changes to the modifiers, like we normally would get a negative, let's say 30% damage with an increase to something else. But Gearbox is going to remove the negative penalties that apply to players, and there will only be 2 random modifiers, one that applies a bonus to players and one that applies a bonus to enemies. Another update that I am super excited about is the assigned drops for legendary loot. All legendaries are now assigned to specific named mobs and bosses. Since the loot pool is large, players can expect multiple legendaries assigned to each boss with a generous drop rate to start, which may get changed over time. They have not said what bosses are going to be dropping what, but they did say that the base game is obviously going to be affected by this. Proving Grounds will also have it, seasonal content like Bloody Harvest, and also the takedowns. And last but not least, for tomorrow's update, we're going to be seeing a lot of new vending machines around the maps. They're going to be placed in areas that really need them, like outside of some of the boss arenas that didn't originally have them. From what I can tell, where they're putting them, they're going to be putting one on Athenas outside of Captain Trant, and then Katagawa Ball for Skywell, and then Katagawa Jr. should be getting one as well. There's going to be several other places, but definitely look out for those. But I hope this helped you guys out, and we'll see you next video.